Hello friends, welcome to my channel. This is Charan. In this video, I will show you how to insert records into MySQL phpMyAdmin database in Python using Django Web Framework. Now let's enter the employee details, Charan, charan@gmail.com, and the country is India. Let's insert record. So here we got a message, record saved successfully. Click browse. So here we got the Charan details are inserted successfully. If you are a first time visitor to my channel, please subscribe to get the latest updates. Before writing the coding part in Python to insert records, first we'll create a new table in phpMyAdmin database. I just logged into my phpMyAdmin database, which is MySQL. Below that, there is a databases. Now I want to create a new table in this sample DB database. Let's select the sample DB. And these are the tables right now present in this database, sample DB database. Now I want to create a new table. Click SQL. Write a query to create a table. Create table. The table name is new employee table is my table name. The new employee table is my table name. Let's add the columns ID integer. I'm adding the primary key, and I'm adding the auto increment column for this table. The next one is the emp name varchar 150 comma email varchar 150, and the country I'm adding varchar 150. Just for the demo purpose, I have added only few columns: ID, emp name, email, and country. Let's create the table. Click go. And here we got the results of this table. Right now this table contains 0 rows. And if you notice in the tables, our table name is a new employee table. Here is the new employee table. Let's browse the table. See, right now it contains 0 rows. Now let's insert some records into this table in Python using Django Web Framework. Now before creating a new project in Django Web Framework, first we'll create a new folder in local disk D drive. Right click the mouse, new folder. Here the new folder name is the employee. Let's browse the employee folder. Right now this employee folder contains empty. Now let's create a new Django project in this folder. I'm using Visual Studio Code to write the Python programming. Open file, open folder. We have created the folder, the employee, in the D drive. So I'm selecting the employee folder. Now select folder. And here our project folder is added successfully. Notice in the Explorer there is an employee folder, and above that there is open editors which contains one welcome page. This is the welcome page. So let's close that one. Right now this employee folder contains 0 files. See? Now let's create a new project in this employee folder. To create a project, open view. Click terminal. Now in the terminal, which is the command prompt, make sure the path is our folder name, employee. Then let's create the project Django Python admin start project. The project name is insert emp is my project name. And see here the insert emp, the project has been created successfully. When I expand, there is a subfolder called insert emp, and below that there is a manage.py, which is a Python file. Let's open this insert emp also. In the subfolder there is some Python files. All these files are default Python files are added successfully when I have created this insert emp project. Let's check in this employee folder also. See the insert emp, the subfolder, and manage.py, and these are the Python files. Now let's create a template folder to add our HTML pages. In the root folder, insert emp, which is our project name, select that one and right click the mouse, click new folder to add the folder name templates, enter, and here we got our templates. Now in this templates we'll add our HTML page. Right click the templates folder, click new file, and the file name is the index.html, and here we got our index.html file. Now in this index.html file, let's add the HTML code. Let's go this one, doc type, and I'm closing the HTML tag. Now inside this HTML tag, I'm adding the header section head. The title is insert new record. After that, I'm adding body. Below body we have the header text h1, create a new record, insert into MySQL phpMyAdmin. H2 tags, Python, Django, web programming. After the headings, I'm adding the horizontal line. After the horizontal line, I'm adding the HTML elements. The first one is the employee name. Input type is equals to, the element is text, and I'm adding the placeholder. The placeholder is enter employee name. Let's close this text box control. The second column name is, in our table I have 4 columns. ID is auto generated column, so I have not added the emp name. The next one is the email and country. Let's add that one. Email, input type is equals to text, placeholder is enter email ID. Let's add the breaks here, and the last one is the country. The column name I want to add, input type is equals to text, and the placeholder is equals to enter country name. Close and the break. After the break, we'll add the button control to submit our data. Input type is equals to submit, and the value of the button control insert record. Let's close this button control. After that, I'm adding horizontal line. Now let's save this file. Save all. Now the next step, we'll add our a models page in this insert emp. The subfolder, right click the insert emp, click new file, and the file name is a models.py. And here we got our models.py, and this models.py I'm importing the class model from Django.db import models. After that, in this models I'm creating a class. The class name is the emp insert, the class name, and models models.model. Make sure they give the model is capital M, after that colon. In this class I am declaring only the properties, the column names. The column names are, let's add the same column name, emp name, copy this one and paste here, is equals to models dot char field. The data type is a character type, and maximum length of this size I want to allow 100. And the next column name is email, copy this one, paste here. So instead of writing the same, I just copy and paste here. And the last column name is a country, copy this one and paste here, is equals to, let's add this the char type. Now after that, let's declare the another class, which is a meta class. M is capital in the meta, after colon, the meta class, we define our table name, db underscore table, colon, between double quotes I'm adding my table name. My table name is a new employee table, copy this one and paste here. That's it. Let's save this file, save all. And one more thing is, let's add this emp name, copy this one, in the index.html, add the property called name. So because we are getting the records, because we are getting the values from this emp name, name is equals to email and the last one, name is equals to is the country. Copy this one and paste here. And also let's add the validation, HTML validation is required. Enter, required and required. Now let's save this file, save all. Now let's add a new views.py page, insert emp, right click the mouse, click new file, views.py, enter, and here we got the views.py page. Now in this views page, the data I want to display in the HTML page, so we need to add the render class from Django.shortcuts import. I'm adding the class name render, and the next class I'm adding the models class from the model class is insert my project name, because the models page is in the insert emp project name, emp dot models import. In the models page, if you check, this is a class name. Let's add the class name so we can access our attributes, so we can access our properties in these views. Insert, and let's define the function def insert record. Insert record is a function name, request colon if request dot method double equals to single quotes I'm adding post colon, and if small letters if request dot post dot get method, get is a small get method. In this get method between single quotes I'm adding our model's emp name, and the second one request dot post dot get method between single quotes. The second one is the email, copy this one and paste here, and request dot post dot get method between single quotes I'm adding the last property, which is our country. So we are posting the data emp name, email and country colon, let's declare a variable save record is equals to the save record I want to from this emp insert class. Now save record dot, let's add the name is equals to request dot post dot get emp name, save record dot email is equals to request dot post dot get email, save record dot country request dot post dot get between single quotes I'm adding the country. Then let's save the records save method. This is a save method. So once the record is saved successfully, I want to display the message. So to display the message, I'm importing the another class from Django dot contrib import messages. So when we want to display a message from the views, we need to import this message class from this contrib package. Now messages dot success method, in this success method I'm requesting request between single quotes I'm adding a record saved successfully. Then once the record is saved successfully, I want to return this function return render, the render request comma between single quotes I am adding index.html page, index.html, and the else part return render. The else part also I want to return the same page, copy this one and paste here. That's it, we have written the code in this views page to save the employee records. Let's save all. So now we need to configure the URLs. Open the urls.py, and notice in the urls.py there is the URL patterns which contains some default path. Let's comment with hash. Our path is between single quotes comma the path we are getting from this views page. So let's import from dot import views. Now views dot in the views I'm adding this function name because in this function we have declared the index.html. So let's add that one. That's it. We have configured the URLs also in this urls.py Python page. Let's save this page also, save all. Now we need to configure our settings. Open settings.py. Now in the settings.py, first most important step is we need to install our application in installed_apps section. Our application name is between single quotes insert emp. Let's add that one, insert emp. Next step, come to the bottom. Now we need to render our templates. So in the template section, our template is index.html. The directory, first we need to add our base directory. So os.path.combine, it's not password, it's a path dot join method. The join method takes two parameters. The first parameter is the base directory, basc_directory dir, comma, between single quotes I'm adding. The second parameter takes the templates, the folder name of our HTML pages. So once we add the templates folder, now we need to configure our database connection string. If you notice in the databases, the default connection string is SQLite 3, but we want to configure for MySQL. So instead of SQLite 3, add MySQL, and the name, delete this one, between single quotes. Here the name is our database name. So our database name is sampledb. So add this one, sampledb. Next one is a user colon root. The username is root, and the password the password I'm leaving blank because I don't have any password to log into my phpMyAdmin database. If you have any, please enter that one. And then we need to add the host. The host is a local host, and also we need to add the port number also. The port number is the MySQL phpMyAdmin port number is 3306. So let's add that one, 3306, comma, and the last one is the options colon between curly braces. In the curly braces, I'm defining between single quotes init_command is the colon between double quotes I'm adding set SQL_mode is equals to between single quotes the mode is strict_trans_tables. That's it. We have configured our MySQL database connection string also. Let's save this file, save all. Now the last step in the HTML page, let's add the form tag. The form tag, the method is equals to post. Let's close this form tag. After the button control, now the most important step is in Python, where we want to post the data or transfer the data, we need to add %. We need to send the data as a secure way. For that, there is a csrf_token. When we add this token csrf, our data will be protected from the hackers. So next, to display the message once the record is inserted successfully, so between curly braces percentage if I'm adding the messages class name. If you check in the views, I have added the messages to display this record saved successfully. So I'm adding these messages here, and then we need to close if condition. This is the curly braces percentage curly braces percentage and if. Now I'm adding the for loop percentage for the result or message. It's a variable for message in messages. So we are getting the message from this messages class. Let's close this percentage for loop with and for. Now within this for loop, I'm adding in the double curly braces the expression. I'm adding the variable message, and this message is record saved successful. Will display here in this message, and I will put this h2 tags between the h2 tags. I want to display the message. Let's give some style. h2 style is equals to color between double quotes color dot color green. I want to display the text color is green. Let's save this file. File all save. That's it. We have done the complete coding part. Now the most important, in the command prompt we'll install our database packages. Pip install MySQL client. Notice here we got a message requirement already satisfied, which means the packages are installed successfully. So once we install this MySQL client, now we'll run our server. To run the server, add Python manage.py manage.py. This file name we have to add here. Then run server, enter. Oops, we need to add our project name here, cd insert emp, enter. Now let's run the server, python manage.py, run server, enter. Oops, here we got an error. The file directory name. Notice here the insert emp no module name form. If we check, the project name is insert I is the capital. So in the settings.py, open that one. Go to top and install apps. See here the I is small here. So add I is capital. Make sure give our application name is the correct. Sorry for that. Let's save these files again. Save all. Come to the bottom. Now let's run the server again. Enter. So here we got no issues found this time, and this is our web server. Click Control and mouse click. And here we got our index.html page is our default home page. And that page we have the header tags. Below that, the text box controls. Enter employee name. Let's add the employee name is Charan. The ID is charan@gmail.com. and the country is India. Now before insert this Charan details, the employee details, let's check. Browse this new employee table. Right now this employee table contains 0 rows. So let's insert the record. Insert record. Oops, here we've got an error. This table does not exist. So let's check. In the models.py we have added our table. So this is not column, this is equals to. Sorry for that again. Let's save the file. Save all. In the command prompt, Ctrl C. Let's come out and run server again. Let's press the Ctrl and mouse click. Now let's enter the employee details. Charan, the Charan at gmail.com, and the country is India. Let's insert record. So here we got a message, record saved successfully. Click browse. So here we got the Charan details are inserted successfully. Let's insert. Here we're getting the autocomplete. Let's turn off this autocomplete, and the text box element after the required I'm adding the autocomplete. Autocomplete is off. Add this attribute to all the text box controls. Let's save this file. We'll reload the browser. Now when I select the text box control, notice I'm not getting any suggestions, the autofill data, because we have set the autocomplete off. Now let's enter the new employee details, Peter at gmail.com, and the country I'm adding is Japan. Click insert record, and here we got a message, record saved successfully. Let's check the Peter record has been inserted successful or not. Click browse. So here we got the Peter details. That's it.